Hells and Buddhist Point of View. The Sanskrit term for hell is naraka. This is the lowest and most miserable condition of existence. Sentient being, alaya consciousness, is condemned to stay in hell due to his worst karma. In the hellish path, the sufferings there are so great that no words can describe them. Place of torture and torment, and retribution for bad deeds. One of the three negative modes of existence. But existence in hells is finite. After negative karma has been exhausted, rebirth in another better form of existence is possible. Like the Pure Land, hells are more as a state of mind than as places. Buddhist cosmology distinguishes two types of hells, hot and cold, divided into 8 main hells, each main hell surrounded by 16 secondary, subsidiary ones. The hells are ruled by Yama, according to the Abhidharma, composed by Bhikkhu Bodhi. Hell, Niraya, is the lowest plane of existence, the place of most intense suffering. It is said that beings in the hell have to suffer the result of their evil deeds in the past. This is not a permanent hell. Once these beings pay all retributions for their past unwholesome karmas, they can be reborn in a better and happier plane owing to their past wholesome karmas. According to Buddha's belief, Naraka, i.e. a place of torture and torment and retribution for bad deeds. This is one of the 6 destinies of beings within cyclic existence or samsara, and also one of the 3 negative modes of existence, the others being gods, humans, demigods, animals, and hungry ghosts. Hell beings are born into one of a number of hells, in which they are subjected to various tortures in accordance with their past evil deeds. But existence in hells is finite. After negative karma has been exhausted, rebirth in another better form of existence is possible. Like the Pure Land, hells are more as a state of mind than as places. Buddhist cosmology distinguishes two types of hells, hot and cold, divided into 8 main hells, each main hell surrounded by 16 secondary, subsidiary ones. The hells are ruled by Yama. Ancient virtues said, if you becomes depressed, you are planting a seed for the hells. In contrast, if you smile, you plant a seed for the heavens. Thus, there is no happiness in the hells. They are melancholy and miserable. According to Buddhism, the hells basically have no doors. We make the doors ourselves, and enter into these doors by our own forces. Why do we end up in the hells? Because of ignorance and lack of understanding. We create evil karma. Sincere Buddhists should always remember that, no matter what kind of karma we create, we have to undergo the corresponding retribution, without a slightest bit off. If we plant the hell causes, we have to receive the hell effects, without any exception. Buddhist cosmology includes numerous realms, in which sentient beings are reborn, as a result of their past actions. Hell or earth prison is one of the 6 gati, or ways of transmigration, the downward path to hell. Hell is a place of joyless and suffering, according to the Abhidharma, composed by Bhikkhu Bodhi. Hell, Niraya, is the lowest plane of existence, the place of most intense suffering. It is said that beings in the hell have to suffer the result of their evil deeds in the past. They are subject to physical and psychological suffering in direct proportion to the negative actions they performed in their past lives. They are subject to a range of tortures, including being played alive, burned, frozen, and tortured by demons. However, this is not a permanent hell. Once these beings pay all retributions for their past unwholesome karmas, they can be reborn in a better and happier plane owing to their past wholesome karmas. The best known hells are the 8 hot hells and the 8 cold hells, each of which is surrounded by 16 subsidiary hells. According to Buddhist doctrines, The lowest level of hell is called Avicii, in which beings have uninterrupted torment. According to traditional Buddhist cosmology, this is one of the 6 destinies of beings within cyclic existence or samsara, and also one of the 3 negative modes of existence, the others being gods, humans, demigods, animals, and hungry ghosts. Hell beings are born into one of a number of hells, in which they are subjected to various tortures in accordance with their past evil deeds. But existence in hells is finite. After negative karma has been exhausted, rebirth in another better form of existence is possible. Like the Pure Land, hells are more as a state of mind than as places. Buddhist cosmology distinguishes 2 types of hells, hot and cold, divided into 8 main hells, each main hell surrounded by 16 secondary, subsidiary ones. According to Buddhism, hells include central or radical hells, secondary hells, isolate hells, and many other hells. Radical hells include 8 hot hells and 8 cold hells. The 8 hot hells, located under the southern continent of Jambudvipa. Sanjiva hells or Sanjiva hells, rebirth, where after many kinds of suffering, a cold wind blows over the soul and returns it to this life as it was before. The hell in which the denizens are chopped, stabbed, ground, and pounded, but by a cool wind are brought back to life, to undergo renewed torment. Kalasutra hells or Kalasutta hells, where the sufferer is bound with black chains and chopped or sawn asunder. Samgata hells or Sanghata hells, where are multitudes of implements of torture, or the falling of mountains upon the sufferer. Rorava hells or Rorava hells, where prisoners are crying and wailing. Maharorava hells or Maharorava hells, where prisoners always have great wailing. Tapana hells, hells of flames and burning. Mahatapana hells, or the hottest hells. These are hells of molten leads. Avicii hells, or the hell of no interval. These are the last of the 8 great hot hells, where who suffers die, and reborn incessantly. Avicii hell, the last of the 8 hot hells, or unintermitted suffering, where sinners die, and are reborn to suffer, without interval, in which punishment, pain, birth, death continue without intermission. The 8 cold hells include our Buddha hells, where the cold causes blisters. Nirabuddha hells, where colder condition causing the blisters to burst to cause even more painful. Atada hells, where there is the only possible sound from frozen lips. Habhava or Apapa hells, where it is so cold that only this sound can be uttered. Ahaha, or Hahadhara, or Hahava, or Hahuva hells, where only this sound can be uttered. This is where the condemned neither stir nor speak, but the cold air passing through their throats produces this sound. Ahaha, Hahadhara, Hahava, or Hahuva. This hell is unknown to the southern Buddhism. Vipul hells, where the skin is frozen like blue lotus buds. Padma hells, where the skin is frozen and bursts open like red lotus buds. Mahapadma hells, where it is very cold, that the skin is frozen and bursts open like great red lotus buds. There are 16 adjacent hells, or inferior hells. Each hot hell has a door on each of its 4 sides. Opening from each such door are 4 adjacent hells. There are also isolate hells, situated in space, or in mountains, deserts, below and above the earth. Besides, there are many other hells, such as hells of intermittent wailing, hells of intermittent scorching, hell of blood drinking, hell of flaying skin, embracing pillar hell, hell of pulling tongues, hell of plowing tongues, Sanghata hell, hell of hunger, hell of sawing teeth, ultimately uninterrupted hell, molten brass hell, much hatred hell, hell of eye pecking, hell of swords, where leaves and grasses are sharp-edged swords, hell of impaling thorns, hell of crushing, the third great hell, in which sinners are crushed to death, hell of brazen locks, squeezing mountain hell, hell of fire dog, hell of fire beams, hell of fire horses and oxen, hell of fire rooms, hell of fire beds, hell of fire mountains, hell of fire stones, hell of liquid fire, hell of fiery arrows, hell of fire elephant, hell of fire eagle, hell of wailing, hell of crying out, hell of flowing fire, hell of dung and urine, hell of flying knives, hell of thousand blades, prince of Hades, hell of iron pellets, hell of iron asses, hell of iron oxen, hell of iron beds, hell of iron axe, hell of iron carts, hell of iron clothing, hell of burning feet, hell of burning hands, hell of piercing spears, hell of quarreling, hell of thousand blades, hell of the fire chariot, hell of blood, hell of the forest of swords, and hell without respite. In the Dharmapada Sutra, the Buddha taught, "The speaker of untruth goes down. Also he who denies what he has done. Both sinned against truth. After death they go together to hells. A yellow saffron robe does not make him a monk. He who is of evil character, and uncontrolled or unrestrained, such an evildoer, by his evil deeds, is born in a woeful state. It is better to swallow a red-hot iron ball than to be an immoral and uncontrolled monk feeding on the alms offered by good people. For misfortunes occur to a careless man who commits adultery, acquisition of demerit, restlessness, moral blame and downward path. There is acquisition of demerit, as well as evil destiny. No joy of the frightened man. The king imposes a heavy punishment. Therefore, man should never commit adultery, just as kusa grass cuts the hand of those who wrongly grasped. Even so the monk, who wrongly practiced asceticism leads to a woeful state, an act carelessly performed, a broken vow, and a wavering obedience to religious discipline. No reward can come from such a life. Things should be done. Let's strive to do it vigorously, or do it with all your heart. A debauched ascetic only scatters the dust more widely. An evil deed is better not done. A misdeed will bring future suffering. A good deed is better done now, for after doing it one does not grieve. Like a frontier fortress is well guarded, so guard yourself, inside and outside. Do not let a second slip away, for each wasted second makes the downward path. Those who embrace the wrong views are ashamed of what is not shameful, and are not ashamed of what is shameful, will not be able to avoid the hell. Those who fear when they should not fear, and don't fear in the fearsome, embrace these false views, will not be able to avoid the hell. Those who perceive faults in the faultless, and see no wrong in what is wrong, such men, embracing false doctrines, will not be able to avoid the hell. Those who perceive wrong as wrong, and what is right as right, such men, embracing right views, and go to the blissful state. Uninterrupted hells. Uninterrupted hells are the lowest, and the worst of the 8 hot hells. According to the Buddhist theory, they are hells of no intermission of suffering, hells of uninterrupted suffering, in which suffering, death, and painful rebirth are continuous, until the retribution for the sufferers, evil karma, is exhausted, at which time that being will be reborn in a higher plane of existence. Those who are born in this hell always suffer from the heat of fire. Avicii is located under the ground of Jambudvipa. According to the Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra, contemplating the karmic conditions of living beings, why is it called the uninterrupted hell? The Lady Maya further asked Earth Store Bodhisattva, why is it called the uninterrupted hell? Earth Store replied, Holy Mother, The hells are all within the Great Iron Ring Mountains. There are 18 great hells, and 500 secondary ones. Their names all different. In addition, there are another 100,000, also with distinct names. The wall surrounding the uninterrupted hell is over 80,000 miles in circumference, made entirely of iron. It is 1,000 miles in height, and topped by massive fire with few breaks. Inside the wall of that hell are many interconnected hells, each with its own name. There is just one hell, which is properly called uninterrupted. Its circumference is 18,000 miles, and its solid iron wall is 1,000 miles high, surmounted by a fire that plunges toward the base, and is met by a fire at the bottom that leaps upward. Iron snakes and dogs, spewing fire, gallop east and west atop that wall. According to the Earth's Store Bodhisattva Sutra, in the midst of the uninterrupted hell is a bed that extends for 10,000 miles. When one person undergoes punishment, that person sees his or her own body extended across and completely filling the bed. And yet when 10 million people undergo punishment, each sees his or her own body completely filling the bed. Such are the retributions for various evil deeds. The offenders undergo sufferings to the utmost. 100,000 yakshas, as well as evil ghosts with sword-like teeth and eyes like lightning, drag and pull them with brass-clawed hands. Moreover, there are yakshas who brandish great iron halberds, which they pass through the offenders' bodies, either through their mouths and noses, or through their belies and backs. They toss them into space, turn them over and pull them back, or else they place them on the bed. There are also iron eagles that peck at the offenders' eyes, and iron serpents that encircle their necks. Long nails are driven into all their limbs. Their tongues are pulled out and plowed through. Their guts are pulled out, sawed, and chopped apart. Molten brass is poured into their mouths, and their bodies are bound with hot iron. Such are their karmic retributions. Throughout 10,000 deaths, and as many births, they pass through millions of eons, seeking for escape in vain. When this world decays, they will be sent to be reborn in another world, and when that world is annihilated, they will pass in turn to those in order directions. As those worlds in other directions, too, decay, they are sent back and forth, so that after this world comes into being again, they return here. Such are the phenomena of uninterrupted retribution for offenses. According to the Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra, Earth Store Bodhisattva said to the Holy Mother, "These are the names of the retributions for offenses in southern Jambudvipa. If there are living beings who are not filial to their parents, even to extent of harming or killing them, they will fall into the uninterrupted hell where, for thousands of 10,000s of millions of kalpas, they will seek escape in vain. If there are living beings who shed the Buddha's blood, who slander the triple jewel, and who do not respect and venerate sutras, they also will fall into the uninterrupted hell where, for thousands of 10,000s of millions of kalpas, they will seek escape in vain. If there are living beings who usurp or damage the property of the permanently dwelling, who defile bhikshus or bhikshunis, or who commit sexual acts within the Sangharama, or kill or harm beings there, they and those like them will fall into the uninterrupted hell where, for thousands of 10,000s of millions of kalpas, they will escape in vain. If there are living beings who steal the wealth and property of the permanently dwelling, its grain, food, drink, and clothing, or who take even a single article which has not been given to them, and who turn their backs on the precepts, doing all manner of evil acts, they and those like them will fall into the uninterrupted hell where, for thousands of 10,000s of millions of kalpas, they will seek escape in vain. If there are living beings who steal the wealth and property of the permanently dwelling, its grain, food, drink, and clothing, or who take even a single article, which has not been given to them. They will fall into the uninterrupted hell where, for thousands of 10,000s of millions of kalpas, they will seek escape in vain. Aristotle Bodhisattva continued. Holy Mother, if living beings commit such offenses, they will fall into the 5 ways uninterrupted hell. And although they seek a temporary stopping of their suffering, it will not stop even for the space of a thought. It is called uninterrupted, due to 5 retributions for karma. What are they? Punishment is undergone day and night throughout kalpas, and there is no time of respite. Therefore, it is called uninterrupted hell. One person fills it, yet many people also fill it. Therefore, it is called uninterrupted. The implements of punishment are forks, clubs, eagles, serpents, wolves, and dogs, which pound, grind, saw, drill, chisel, cut and chop. Boiling liquids, iron nets, iron robes, iron asses, and iron hoses that flay one alive, bind one's head in rawhide, and pour hot iron over one's body, meals of iron pellets, and drinks of iron fluids. Throughout many nadas of kalpas, such suffering continues without interruption. Therefore, it is called uninterrupted. Whether a man, a woman, a savage, or someone old or young, honorable or lowly, a dragon or a spirit, a god or ghost, everyone must undergo retribution for the offenses he or she has committed. Therefore, it is called uninterrupted. If one falls into this hell, from the time of entry one undergoes 10,000 deaths and as many rebirths, each day and night throughout 100,000 kalpas. One may seek relief for the space of a thought, but even such a brief pause does not happen. Only when one's karma is exhausted can one attain rebirth. Because of this continuity, it is called uninterrupted.